Hey, what's up, everybody? Listen, I'm getting ready to jump out of here, headed to South Africa from Senegal, and then I'm headed back to, after South Africa, I'm headed back to the DMV, then I'm headed to Atlanta, then I'm headed to Ghana, then I'm headed to Atlanta. Then I got New Orleans. I got there's a couple things happening here. Anyway, of course, people have been asking me my thoughts on the death of Kevin Samuels. And for those who are not familiar with Kevin Samuels, he was a popular social media personality who rose to prominence over the past couple of years as someone who was described as an image consultant, among other things. And so his death came suddenly, recently, and so folks want to know what my take is on it. Whether you loved him or did not love him, he made his mark in the time frame that he had. He lived his life, and it appears he lived it on his terms. My thought is that everybody has an expiration date, and we don't know when that date is, just like we learned with Kobe, just like we learned with Michael, just like we learned with Prince, just like we learned with so many other pop culture icons. We learned that it could happen at any point in time. The lesson that I take from Kevin Samuels is to live your life every day to the fullest, because you don't know when it's over. You might think that you're 25 and healthy and you have time, and there's a car accident that takes you out, or a stray bullet in one of these cities that take you out, or a blood clot that you don't know, or an aneurysm, or some illness that you don't know about, or one that you battle that you finally succumb to. I mean, again, all of us are going to have to face these realities at some point. And that's one of the reasons why you see me doing what I'm doing, because, if I live to be 100 or if I live to be 50, whatever it is, I don't want to look back with any regrets. When those final breaths come to say, oh man, I didn't do what I wanted to do. I didn't do this, I didn't do that, because I was listening to somebody else, or somebody's opinion got in the way of what I was doing. And once I got that out of the way, I just went with, like, hey, I'm going to do it. And that's what I encourage anyone to do. And I think that's the lesson that we take from any of these situations. What are you waiting on? Why are you waiting on permission for somebody else to tell you it's okay to live your life? Your life. It's not their life. People master the art of trying to control how you live your life, asking you questions on how you can do what you do, which is really none of their business. But we get worried about that, and so and people become envious. They do all kinds of things. But when you take your final breath, it's going to be on you. And the reality is everybody dies alone. You could have a whole group of people around you, surrounding you, but when that final breath comes, it's you. They're still breathing their breath. It's you. So, that's my take on it. The other thought that I have is a little off of that topic. Is I think a lot of us miss out on a lot of things because we get caught in our feelings. So I'll give you a good example. I'll just use Donald Trump because he's an easy target. A lot of people dismiss him, don't like him. His rhetoric is, off-putting. It's repulsive on many levels. It's a turn off for many people. Turns a lot of people on, turns a lot of people off. I guess that's kind of like Kevin Samuels, But one of the things that I've learned is that when it comes to people, even if I don't like what they're saying, I don't dismiss certain aspects of their formula or whatever. So sometimes it's good to know your enemy's formula so you know how to position yourself accordingly. If you get in your emotions and you dismiss what they're saying, then they might give you clues on how you can defeat them. So what I do is I sit back, I say, oh, okay, so-and-so tripping, so-and-so crazy. All right, now what makes so-and-so tick? What makes that person work? Because that might give me insight in how to position myself. I might not ever be able to change what that person has to say, but I can certainly adjust my positioning based upon their mental philosophy, whatever they're sharing, whatever their ideologies are. I can say, you know what? Let me not do that, because that puts me at a disadvantage or a negative position based upon, what they're saying. So a lot of times I'll study people I don't particularly care for, so that I know how my adversary is working, so I know how to position myself. If I know they're going to try to come at me financially and set me up with a whole bunch of debt, then what I do is I step back and I don't get into that particular kind of debt they might be trying to do. Or I do historical analysis and I look at the study of economics and I go back and I say, now, how has this system worked historically over time? And how do I position myself so that I don't find myself in a predatory lending practice, or I don't find myself in massive student loan debt, or my children don't, or other people don't find themselves in those types of situations. So what I would encourage people to do is you don't have to like somebody, but don't dismiss their knowledge or what they're saying to you as far as their approach, because one thing that happens, and I see this on the continent, I see it in America, I see it just in human nature, that when people get caught up in their emotions, they make, they throw the wrong blow, or they don't know the right position to, right move in order for them to position themselves. So anyway, but to wrap this one up, my thought on the death of Kevin Samuels is that everybody is going to meet that resolve. Every human being is going to meet that resolve, and what you do with your life is going to be 100% up to you. 100% up to you. When you die alone, when I die alone, when we all die alone, surrounded by friends, family, or by ourselves in the wilderness somewhere, we're going to replay. For those who have that ability to replay our lives. So what I hope to inspire is everybody living their life to the fullest, making the most of each day, and knowing that we, looking to leave something for the next generations to be able to glean from. And so record as much as possible, video, write as much as possible, chronicle it, document it, and pass it to the next generation, because you can't take it with you. And in several generations, nobody will know any of our names. So that's my thought. All right, so subscribe, like, share, and make sure you join us on one of these maximum impact travel adventures to the continent of Africa, or one of our African diaspora destinations. We're working on some stuff for the U.S. too, in the Caribbean and South America, but right now we're focused on Africa. So that's the deal. Hey, don't forget to pick up the Adventures of Darren and Destiny children's book series. Let's start changing in the narratives for our children at a young age. Talk to you soon. You know what? Next stop, South Africa, Durban. That's it.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on our children's level, so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do And as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation. And they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the adventures of Darren and Destiny.